Hi fellas, Nice back here again, and today I've got an inbox review for you. What we're going to be looking at today is Trumpeter's MiG 15 bis Fagot-b. Okay, so this one is in the People's Chinese Republic and the Soviet Air Force from North Korea. So looks like a really nice kit. So what I'll do, I'll get cracking on the other end. So, as you can see, some really nice box art, okay, showing a MiG shooting down a shooting star, I believe it is, from the Chinese Republic in, well, is it the Korean War? Yeah, from 1953. On the side, we've got a camo version of the Soviet Air Force. You get what looks like a full engine and cannons. Nothing much else really on the rest of the box art. So what we'll do, we'll get cracking straight into it. And as always, we start off with the instruction manual. Normal Trumpeter Hobby Boss type instruction manual, all in black and white. The main colours I can actually see is on the front. Oh, it's just giving you the basic colour they are, so blue, red, green, silver, light grey, sandy brown, etc. So some research will be needed to actually look at this aircraft, and we might get more information when we get towards the colour callouts. So starting off, we get a sprue map, and we've got 5 sprues and a acetate film for the instrument dials, which is going to be should be rather nice to actually do. And then we move on to start with the cockpit. So we've got seats, instrument panel, the tub going together. We have the nose intake, sort of like scoops, okay. In there we could put our weight, so make sure it's not a tail sitter, and it says over here put 15 grams in. Me personally, I'll probably be putting something like 20 grams in, just to make sure we've got the right sort of weight. And then we've got the gun assembly, fuel tanks. We've got a 400 litre and a 260 litre fuel tank. Attaching the guns to the nose, wheels going together, and landing legs. And then straight on to adding the wings. Some nice, looks like some nice detail on the flaps. So you've got your left wing, your right wing, your 2 wings going together, the tail coming together with the moulded in tail fin, the high vertical stabilizers. Moving on to installing the engine assembly and attaching the main gear with the engine going on. And then with the tail sliding onto the main fuselage, and then we'll start putting all the little bits on, like the windscreen, the air brakes, some antennas. We're moving on to the painting guide. So yeah, so you've just got red, green, silver, okay. And then we move on to the it says Mr. Gore's colours used, but other than the names of them, potentially it'd be just a case of having a look, see what's what, unless these numbers line up. Let's have a look. I've got Aqueous, so I can't even have a look, see whether they match up to any of that. Okay, so that's the instruction manual. Nothing much to this kit. Okay, we move on to the plastic. Each bag is individually wrapped, so we'll start with this one first. Okay, it's first time I'm opening this and having a look with you. Okay, so straight on we have the nose parts, the scoops for the intake, what looks like the cockpit wall. That's probably the armor plating of the seat. Parts of the instrument panels. That's the bit that slots down onto the top of the forward fuselage. Got some nice recessed panel lines and some recessed rivets all on there. A little bit of flash because this kit now is it's getting a little bit on. Okay, but again, some nice detail. Normal trumpeter detail within this. Nice rivet detail, nice recessed panel lines. Might have to get rid of these injection push outs, but it's just there and there. Next one, we've got a small sprue, and it looks like the engine, oops, me throwing it about, has come off. So just grab that out. So we've got the engine nozzle. Again, some nice detail, though we'll have to get rid of the seam line that's running around it if you're going to have this on show, which you can see down there. There's no detail internally. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little bit of flash. No real seam line on the inside. Okay, but there's some nice detail there. And then we've got the front of the nozzle, the compressor blades, which again, it's got some nice detail on there. You can see some rivets and the fans and a sort of like mesh on there. We have one of the cannons, not hollowed out, but easy enough to do with the like the heat. I can't remember what their bits are called. Never mind. But the bit that's sort of like compressors as it's firing. Some more cannon parts. These are parts of the engine support, so that's what's going to get mounted onto here to support all the engine parts, which I'm assuming all these parts are. And then we have some what must be bombs, and there we are. This is from 2002, so this is coming up to 20 years old now, and it's still looking really, really nice. Next sprue is the tail, some drop tanks. So again, some really nice recessed lines, some nice rivets, maybe a bit on the chunky side, but I would prefer that to massive of oversized rivets everywhere. So it's nice. It's got a nice chunky look to it, but there's not rivets everywhere of the ones that are too big. Then we've got the control surfaces and the horizontal and vertical stabilizers, and then the drop tanks. Turn it over. Nothing really to write home about. These are all nice at the one piece. Some kits, these are normally two pieces, then you've got a sandwich together. Unlike the tail that's made up of two pieces, but you've got one side that sandwiches together, and then the top half, which is all one piece. Next up, we have the wings. So again, some really nice detail on here. The smaller parts, like these strafes. Okay, so I don't know where these ones go, because there's ones on the top. Oh, there we are, look. These would sit in these channels here. They're really, really nicely done. Really, really fine, well moulded. We then move on to what looks like the seat back. Wheels, all one-part wheels, so all three wheels, main and nose, are all one part. The smaller parts are moulded really, really nicely, really crisp. Okay, so you shouldn't have really any problem getting these to show up. Then we have the seat bottom and the undercarriage doors just there, and this detail in the flap area. Okay, with wheel weld area, and then we've got the actual flaps themselves. Look really nice. Again, would have to get rid of these pins just there. Okay, if you wanted to show those down. Overall, a really, really nice sprue. Next up is the clear parts. Okay, so the clear parts, we have some really, really nice clear parts. And then we've got this bit here. So that's going to be the front part of the actual instrument panel. And then your plastic bit will go behind that with your sheet with your film in between. Really nice, clear, crystal clear canopies. The only downside is there is a small seam line running down it, so that's going to you can actually see it just there with that little bit of flash there. So that runs all the way down, so you're going to have to the good thing about it is because it's on, we've got this bar that runs down it. It shouldn't be too much of an issue just to get rid of that, and then that'll help key your canopy for painting there. The only downside I can really see with this is these parts, the location parts for the sprue are quite big, so you'd have to watch and be careful with that, because with clear parts it can be quite brittle. And then we move on to the decals. Now, I've not really done a trumpet kit for a while, so I can't really comment on the decals. So that's the clear part. Okay, so that's for behind that clear bit on the clear sprue. And then we have got the decals. So as you can see, there's nothing there. All right, there is some stars, some numbers, and that is it. So if you want a fairly quick build, which I think this will be, and with the markings on there, you know, you're not going to have any issue whatsoever. So guys, that's the MiG-15 from Trumpeter. Looks a really nice kit. Again, it's 20-year-old, but it looks like it should go together really, really well. Me personally, I probably will be doing that version. Okay, and it could weather up quite nice. The Korean War has always been an interesting one for me, because it's something that could have been a whole lot worse not long after the Second World War, and some people say it was really bad, but it's one where again ourselves, the US, and a few other allies basically work together, mainly fighting this aircraft, and a few obviously Russian bombers and potentially other ones. Okay, anyway, that's the MiG-15 bis Fagot-b from Trumpeter, and I will hopefully see you on the next one. Bye for now.